You are the creator of your life, really. Like, no matter what situation has happened to you, no matter what life throws at you, you have all control. So I'm going to go this way or I'm going to go that way. My name is Briana Zierman-Felix, and I'm from California, currently living in Alabama. And I've been an artist for as long as I can remember, since I was younger, and then professionally for the past about 4 years. When I first got into art, it was for art therapy when I was younger. And then I went to the Art Institute of North Hollywood. The campus had shut down on me, and during that time, I was actually homeless and slept out of my car. I would pretty much wake up, head to the beach so that way I could shower at the free showers there. After classes, I would then go do a closing shift at a coffee shop. After that, I would hit the mall because the mall had free Wi-Fi for me to do my classes. And then in Los Angeles, parking is only 4 hours at a time. So when it was time for bed, again, just get ready in a gas station, brush my teeth real quick there, go find somewhere I could park for 4 hours, set an alarm, have to move around to a different spot, and just do that all night long to try to make sure I didn't get any tickets while I was there, get caught sleeping somewhere I shouldn't be. That lasted for a while until I had friends who found out, and once they did, they were more than willing to help and keep me safe at that point. During that time, it was really difficult. You feel like you have nothing going for you. You let that reflect on how you see yourself. There was a lot of me having to overcome that mentally and prove to myself really that, no, this is not who I am. It's not what I am. The strength of getting through that. That's what I am. I made it through that. So why can't I make it through a 1 hour challenge or something? I think it's given me a really strong mindset to bring into this competition. I think I have a lot of pressure on myself, not in a sense of if I lose to somebody else here because everyone here is an excellent artist, but if I feel like I didn't do what I could have or give it my all, I am going to be very upset with myself for a long time.
This one's winning me over. I love how they did the edge over there.
Yes, we all are competing against each other, but I think we each are competing against ourselves more than each other, really. We each want to see ourselves do the best. And nobody wants to see themselves win against someone who's not doing their best. So we want to be okay, you did your best, I did my best, let's see whose best wins, kind of. So we all want to keep raising each other up, and it's a really special thing. I feel like everything I experience with you guys is always life-changing. It pushes you forward. It makes you uncomfortable at points, but in those moments of uncomfortability, you grow and you blossom, and everyone here is going to change my life in some way.
There's so much amazing detail and accuracy and great values, so much depth.
I got the darks really dark, which is hard to do with graphite.
If I don't go to the next round, at least I gave it my all. If I go out, you're in a room filled with so many talented artists. It's not that you're not good or that somebody else is better than you. We just have different styles. We have different approaches to painting. Each person will have a different opinion of it. That doesn't mean it's good or bad. It just means you stand out. It feels so special, and I'm so grateful that I get any opportunity that I do, because each day is a new chance to not forget about my past, but to not let that define me. It was not an easy one. There were a lot of ups and downs for it, but I think no matter what has happened, it's all been worth it in the end, and it's been a beautiful experience, and I would not change it for anything, really. When I first got into art, it was for art therapy. When I was younger, I would go do art therapy at lunches with the school counselor, and she kind of taught me how to paint what I was feeling and my emotions on the canvas, and I would write letters back and forth with my dad. And so then painting always reminded me of him, and that's why I wanted to pursue it when I got older. And then I went to the Art Institute of North Hollywood. The campus had shut down on me, and during that time, I was actually homeless and slept out of my car. And right after all of that and me getting back up on my feet was when the Milan Art Institute decided to turn on to online instead of just in person. So it felt like perfect timing, and I took everything I had and went for it, and it all worked out in the end. I wanted to say yes to this opportunity to keep pushing myself. I think that I'm a creature of habit, so I'll get stuck in the same routine every single day. And I want to keep expanding my skills, expanding what I can do, what color palettes I do. I really find a routine and stick to it. And so if I held myself back from coming to this, I would stay stuck forever, and that's where I would be. And so why not say yes to something and put myself out of my comfort zones and keep growing as an artist, as a person. Like, everything I went through was worth it. Yeah, I'm already going to say that I'm proud of myself for even being here and making it this far. I think that's huge, but I think that moment, it would be a huge, like, sigh of relief. Like, wow, everything I endured was meant for this moment right here. That's what it would feel like. It's to remind myself to keep, like, staying present in the moment, have fun with it, focus on this is a new day. Don't let, if I did good or bad the previous day, affect how I approach today. Today is what it is. And so that's what I'm doing. And really trying to work in the moment with everything that I'm doing. Training for this, my biggest thing to train was mindset. And so I even started taking hot yoga classes to put myself in an uncomfortable situation where it's hot, there's a lot of pressure, but you have to remain calm in that moment. And so I think that's really helped me stay calm and focused in here. Game plan today is to finish up that alligator as quickly as I can, maybe like half an hour, because I do think that feels the most finished to me. And then in the acrylics, I am going to take Ellie's advice and make that frog bigger. I know she said that she almost didn't point it out because she didn't think that it could be pushed, but I want to show myself that I can. And so step 2, make that frog bigger, finish that up in about half an hour, and then give myself the rest of the time to really refine that oil painting. I love it. Yeah. I think getting open feedback is what helps you continue to grow as an artist, and I always welcome feedback. It's hard at first if you're first receiving it because you take it so personally. This is us that we're putting onto that canvas, and it almost feels like it's a remark made towards you and who you are as a person, but that's not the case. It's just your painting. And so sometimes I have to kind of separate myself from my art in order to really assess it and give it a proper look and see what it needs next. If I stay too attached to it, I'm going to think that everything I'm doing in there wrong or great is a reflection of me, and that's not the case always. So I kind of have to separate myself from my paintings when I give myself critique, when I get critique, because it's just what needs to be done, really. I almost let it get to me, and I was a little bit surprised with scoring and where I ranked on it. I'm gonna be honest, I was surprised with a couple decisions. I don't think that my oil painting was the best in any way, but I did expect a little bit higher on my alligator. So it did get into my head for a second, and with it being a long filming day, with you being tired, with you being hungry, it like all affects emotions, and then you feel the emotions of the people around you, and you feel bad for ones who are lower and you're excited for ones who are higher. So it's a weird feeling. And I immediately called my husband after to just be like, I just need to kind of get this out of my system. And like it didn't go as I was hoping for, kind of thing, but it was really cool. He's so sweet. He sends me a new motivational video every morning before we come here. And he had sent me one on the topic of losing and like losing mindsets, and that if you take a loss, then you know the answers of how to be better next time around. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at it as. I don't think that I did terrible, but I do think that there's room for me to grow. And now I know where I would grow. I was sitting out here looking at what I would do differently in my paintings, and so I know what to do better this upcoming episode. I hate losing. So that's the first thing is I think I have a lot of pressure on myself, not in a sense of like, if I lose to somebody else here because everyone here is an excellent artist, but if I feel like I didn't do what I could have or give it my all, I am going to be very upset with myself for a long time. So I will gladly open these challenges to push myself. I think it's so important for every aspect in life. How you do one thing is really how you do everything. So if you're taking a loss like this and you kind of accept it and don't push yourself, the next time something challenging happens, you're going to do the same thing. You're never going to keep growing. You're going to stay where you are every single day. And that's my worst fear, is staying the same. I always want to be better. Yeah. From my experiences before, I think, I also think it's kind of, to being asked that, I think it's kind of from childhood, like always wanting to be acknowledged and seen and heard for how I felt. And so I think that like I was always pushing, like, please look at me, please like see what I'm doing, please acknowledge what I'm doing. And so I think that's kind of what it is that I want to push myself to, if I feel like I'm not being seen or heard, it gets to me. And so I gotta push myself to be better and show more of it. And this is nothing against my parents in any way, because I think like everyone does the best they can with what they have. And so I cannot blame how I was raised on any situation. But my dad was in and out of my life, and this is his ring. So when you commented on it the other day, it really made me happy. I wear it because he taught me how to draw. And so wearing this whenever I paint, it feels like I get to create with him. But I would be upset about that, about him not being around. And I really wanted that. And I think me expressing that I wanted it was never acknowledged, and it was kind of just pushed to the side. And it was like, well, this is what you have, so deal with it, kind of. But when you're young, you want that. You want to be acknowledged. Unfortunately, he passed. And the last time I had saw him was on Christmas, when I was in like 3rd grade or something. I had no idea where he was, what happened. And then I got a call when I was in high school from him. And the last thing I said to him was that I didn't want to see him or talk to him again. And I feel so guilty for that. And then And then I got the opportunity to go to the apprenticeship with you guys, and I loved that whole experience. And it was super sweet because John kind of felt like a dad to me in that moment. And like you guys welcomed my husband in. John met him kind of like a father figure, and that was super healing for me, even because it was like, oh my gosh, like my husband's getting to meet a dad figure, a father figure. And so that was so special. And then not too long after the apprenticeship, I got a call that he had passed away. And so I didn't know how to process it, because it feels like you've already lost him with the years that I hadn't seen him. But I went to the funeral, and it was on Christmas that I got to see him again. I landed on Christmas Day. His ashes were there. We had a funeral not too long after. And that was a huge healing thing for me, because I got to kind of reconnect. And now it feels like he gets to have a better relationship with me than he did before, because his circumstances were what they were. But now he gets the chance to be with me every day and see me pursuing what he taught me when I was younger. And so it's so special getting to do art, because it feels like I'm with him every day. And I love that. So it was kind of a blessing that he passed. He's healed. He's in a great state. He gets to be with me. That's how I see it. So, and after that, it's really funny too, because I always wanted to paint tigers because his favorite animals were lions and tigers. And so I felt like I was kind of forcing myself to do that because I really, really wanted to. And I could not do it for a long time. After he passed, that's when it kind of like took off, and I did one, and it worked well, and I've stuck with it since. So it's super special to me it kind of feels like he helps me get to do that. I was forcing myself to go thicker with paint, so that was cool. And then the last interview, I said I wasn't going to think about my cityscape at all over the weekend with the days off, but that's not true. I did. And it's hard not to. When you're surrounded by other contestants who are working on their sources, then you start to kind of question your choice. And then Ali gave us a really good pep talk that made us all kind of rethink our choice of sources coming into this. So our house is super cool though, because we were all sitting around helping each other out, took the time to ourselves, came back together, worked on them together again. And Alexis actually helped me make mine and finish it up. So that was really sweet of her, and I appreciated it a lot, because now I actually am a little bit excited about the cityscape. Oh gosh, okay, it's so great because yes, we all are competing against each other, but I think we each are competing against ourselves more than each other, really. Like, we each want to see ourselves do the best, and nobody wants to see themselves win against someone who's not doing their best. So we want to be like, okay, you did your best, I did my best, let's see whose best wins, kind of. So we all want to keep raising each other up, and it's a really special thing. At dinner, we get really competitive with each other in a fun, loving way. So yeah, it's been nice to be with this group of people. Yesterday, Alexis was talking about her abstract like all day long. So in my mind, I accidentally had a slip where we were talking about how close the competition can get in the next couple episodes and everything can change. And I accidentally said, yeah, someone can really mess up an abstract. And that she has not let me live that down, because that got stuck in her head that she would be the one to do that. But that's not at all what we meant. And so it turned into like a fun, loving joke after that. And we were helping each other out at lunch even right before we came into this, and just encouraging each other, knowing like, this is the step I would do. Maybe this will help you out. Try this approach. We've all been trying to get each other to do our best work possible. Great place for my abstract landscape now. Once I pulled out that palette knife, it let me kind of finish things up to a level I know I can complete it. And I don't want to get too realistic with it, because I can very easily do that, and that's not the point of this. So I tried to get all of the abstraction down, set myself up for the couple areas I want to push further. And I think my focal point will stay more refined, and the rest I'll leave as is, and then go thicker with paint again in the foreground, or the very bottom, very top of my painting. And the cityscape, I don't want to jinx myself, but I feel I'm going into it very excited. So not confident, but excited, which is a difference. So I think if I stay excited about it, then it should be okay. And I kind of have no choice but to do a good cityscape because of my position right now. So I can't let myself slack on it. Like, I initially kind of came in here thinking it could be my pass, but that's not the case anymore. A little bit, yeah. I just expect a lot out of myself. So I was aiming for higher. And I think if I would have gotten higher, I would have let myself kind of slide on the ones that didn't mean as, or I didn't think I could do as well in. But now I'm put in a position where I'm forced into growth. And so I do feel a little bit of pressure that I need to make sure everything I do from here on is as best as it possibly can be, or else I won't be able to continue on. And I wanted all of the next rounds sound so exciting, and I don't want our house to break up. I'm rooting for everyone in our house to stay. So yeah. Oh, it's made it so much fun. I think this could be a really different experience if you're around people who are really negative in mindset, who are kind of constantly putting each other down or not wanting to help each other out. I think I hear this a lot from Ellie, a rising tide floats all boats. And so it's really great that our community is like that. You see that community in group coaching even. That's why I love coaching so much, because even the students are helping each other raise up. And that's our goal as coaches. And it feels like we're all kind of group coaching each other at the house. I think it would affect even my paintings if our house was negative or we weren't getting along. I would definitely see that in my work. I would probably be a little lazy. I wouldn't be excited to get up here to the easel. So I'm really happy with the whole situation here. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better, but not like completely okay, because we still have next week and we just saw that things can flip really easily. But I'm sorry for giving you such a hard time this week. I feel like I gave you so much attitude, but it was a stressful project. And but I'm proud of myself for pushing through all of that. And that just shows that when you have a strong, positive mindset, that things can really change for you if you keep pushing through and moving forward. I made a list, and it was the most important things that I could have worked on in that painting. So I had a lot of work to do. I knew the most important was the foreground, and then I needed one of the buildings to be refined because it's a cityscape. So if the buildings aren't refined, but the little fruit is, then it's not going to feel too much like a city. So I worked in order of importance. I sat at home last night and I looked at my iPad and I was blocking in with my Apple Pencil, almost like I would with a paintbrush. So I sat and I thought over all my decisions of my brushwork going into a picture of my painting. And I think that helps because it helped me kind of get the overthinking out of the way. So there was no chance for me to overthink here. I just knew the exact steps I needed to do, knocked one thing off at a time and call it done. We're all really wanting to prove something to ourselves, whether it's that we have worth, that we're skilled, that we're important. We all have that feeling when you talk to everyone here about that. And I know that's a really strong thing for me, is I want to prove to myself that all of the hard work will pay off and that I am important and that I can be proud of myself. And so that really gives you a lot of anxiety when it feels like such a big thing at stake. But if you remind yourself that if you are making this moment just as important as the bigger picture, it's going to help calm that anxiety so much. And so I tried my best to just take it one day at a time, remind myself, like, if I don't go to the next round, at least I gave it my all, and that's all I can do. If I go out, you're in a room filled with so many talented artists. It's not that you're not good or that somebody else is better than you. We just have different styles. We have different approaches to painting. And I think that really shows too, like when you're curious on, okay, is this style sellable? Is it good? Is it bad? Like, what is it? It can be different, and each person will have a different opinion of it. That doesn't mean it's good or bad. It just means you stand out. And I love that. So reminding myself of that really helps calm me down a lot. Biggest thing is I cannot let my mindset fall. And if that wavers, I know it's kind of all over. So that's been my biggest thing coming into this, is I want a really strong mindset the whole way through. But I can only give it all I've got and see what happens with it.